of a high one? I hope you're joking.
This was their last stand. They are afraid of us. I feel it. You've killed us! You've killed us all! You have just shown me the solution.
This is impossible. Why are you here? Be gone, Phantom. Be gone and leave me to my slumber. Then this isn't a dream. You really are here. But why? The Prophet dies when the Emperor leaves him. This is the course of the game. It has always been so. Explain yourself. How did you find this place? And why do you still exist? Her? But why? She does not have a mind. She does not have feelings. So why should she do this? But still you speak the truth. I can feel it. Then could it really be that the unlikeliest of all eventualities has become reality and brought you here? Coincidence or caprice, I do not know. The veiled woman cannot be understood. I am sorry. It's been too long since I've spoken to anyone. I have had many names. The Arkarians called me the God of Death, the Moonskin people, the Warden of Dreams, the Pyreans, the Demon of the Deep. For your people I am, or was, the Black Guardian. Pompous names, I know. However, I am none of these, neither god nor demon. I am only an eye, condemned to observe again and again. As you measure time, older than your most daring chronicles go back, by far. I have seen them all, since our people fell. Every civilization, every cleansing, every turn of the cycle. But, no. The Starlings came long after me. I was only a fool who wanted to save his own skin at any cost. I knew the cleansing would come. I had known it long before the Red Madness and the war started. But I also knew that fighting it as my people did, and as most do, was pointless. So I looked for another way to prevail. And I found it. What you see here is the result. The Goliath, as I like to call it back then. What it was meant to be was a body of steel, an immortal machine with which I planned to merge my consciousness. Only organic life could be reaped by the High Ones, and I thought that by becoming a machine, I could fool them. By the name of the sun, how brilliant I thought myself. I wanted to become a god, laughing in the face of time. But let me spare you my self-pity. What happened, happened. No. Joining the Goliath meant immortality. All I had to do was sleep and awaken once more when the cycle started again, and new life came forth. Except that this new life would not have been defenseless. I would have been a true god to them, one capable of protecting them from the High Ones. No imaginary figure like the Creator, no false gods like the Lightborn were, to speak in your language. As the only one of my people, yes. But it happened faster than it should have. And when the cleansing occurred, the Goliath was not yet finished. And as the Emperor unleashed the light, I had no choice but to complete the joining too early. A fatal error, as it turned out. I did survive, yes. But I am trapped inside this unfinished machine. And ever since then, all I can do is watch. Again and again. Yes, but a part of the Goliath is the eye. It allows me to see what happens on the surface everywhere. Not as literal as you imagine, of course. I see schemes, feel emotions, similar to your gift, to the Echo. But they are enough to understand. Yes, it was not how I planned it. The Goliath in its final form was meant to be divine, a synthesis of man and steel. But I overestimated myself, and I acted too quickly, driven by fear. No, you do not understand. You are stumbling through the fog, even now that it is almost over. By themselves, the High Ones are not the problem. If we would just see them as they really are, they would become powerless. Yes, it is hard to put into words. I myself do not know everything about the High Ones. Only that they are part of something we call the cycle. A civilization arises and blossoms, and then, always at the same stage of their development, the High Ones appear, and with them, the Red Madness. People start losing their minds, wars erupt, and chaos rules. Until 2 or 3 years later, the cleansing happens. The moment when the High Ones devour the collective consciousness, the gathered minds of this civilization, to give birth to a new one of their own. Despite all of this, nobody knows what drives them. Perhaps they act out of malice, out of an urge to survive, or perhaps they do not even have a will of their own, but are like a force of nature. But I do know one thing. As powerful as they might be, it is mankind who gives them that power. We make them into what they are. Because what nobody understands is simply this. The High Ones feed on what humanity has the most of. Their ego, greed, pride, fear, and their everlasting search for an enemy who is responsible for all their misery. It is those traits the High Ones make use of. These characteristics are what make us human. And by themselves, they are harmless. Only when we bury them, when we deny them, then they play into the High One's hands. So why is this, you ask? It is simple. The High Ones alone cannot make the cleansing happen. Only a human can. With the beacon, my knowledge about it is as limited as my knowledge about the cycle. It has existed since the beginning of time, and despite what you might now believe, the ancient writings about it are true. Lit by the ones who carry the Numenos, it can banish the High Ones once and for all. But it can also destroy us. Because what happens when it is lit without a core is far more than an explosion. It is the cleansing, the triumph of the High Ones. And even as we speak, a human, Teolor has done it again. A bright light will appear from the heart of the machine and open a hole in the sky. And within hours, it will spread throughout the world, and they will all feel it. A fire that burns them from within. A white light which will break through their flesh. Do you understand now? The High Ones have no power. All they do is to feed on our weaknesses, manipulate us into bringing about our own destruction. It is we who forge the sword that kills us. We who lead them to their victory. Even though the key to salvation has always been in our hands. But instead of realizing our folly, we make the same mistake. We repeat the same fate over and over. And only because we refuse to see the truth. Yes, the High Ones are our enemy. But who wants to hear that it is our ego, that dark voice within us, that empowers them? It is so ironic. The moment we would realize all this would be the moment it all came to an end. But we do not. They reap, we sow. Dreams, thoughts, visions, they are everywhere, but the principle is always the same. They throw a tainted seed into a fertile ground. The rest happens by itself. Just think for a moment. When did the High Ones ever do anything other than manipulate you? Did they ever physically influence any events? They incited the Naramis to march against you, and time and again confirmed the righteousness of both your causes. All they told you, all they showed you, was what you wanted to hear, and what you wanted to see. And yes, if you, Teolor, his order, and the Naramis had never acted, the cleansing would never have happened. Maybe there is, but if so, I do not know it. But the more turns of the cycle I witness, this, the more I get the impression that it is some kind of trial. A cosmic game woven by powers we have not even come close to comprehending. Maybe this is just wishful thinking, to give all this pain a meaning when it does not have one. Maybe the High Ones are simply a law of nature, a concept, and we give birth to them by believing there is such a thing as an ultimate external enemy in the first place. The eternal struggle with ourselves. Perhaps that is just part of what it means to exist. Like 1,000 others before him, the High Ones knew exactly what they had to do to get him to commit this last act of desperation. They played him with his weaknesses and fears, like a figure on a chessboard. And the saddest part is that until the very end, he will believe that he has done something good.
This has just been around since the beginning of time, I guess.
That was his greatest fear, yes. To be remembered as a failure, a broken man. That was the stream the High Ones manipulated him from the moment he died, after attempting to flee from his prison on Nerim. The real Enderal, he is dead, prophetess. He is a fleshless one of the mightiest tools of the High Ones. Just as you are. I wish it were. The methods of how the High Ones influence us are plentiful, and the Red Madness and their ability to enter our dreams are not their only means. Their mightiest tool is the creation of projections, fleshless ones, or emissaries, as they are also called. If a person dies, and if this person has one last unfulfilled wish, a compulsion, then the High Ones have the power to create a projection of him, an immaterial image of the deceased, which thinks itself real and is perceived as such. What no one notices, not even the projection itself, are two things. Firstly, it is driven by this last unfulfilled desire. Secondly, it becomes an idealized version of its former self, almost tailor-made to free itself from the last compulsion, that ultimate scourge. The daughters of fishermen become warriors. Broken generals become charismatic and driven leaders who seem almost too determined to be real. You are one of these projections, as are all of the emissaries. You are a fleshless one, a spirit searching for liberation from something. I do not know your past before you came to this land, because before you became the prophetess, you were insignificant. But what happened to you and your friend on that ship? You never survived it. You drowned in the Red Sea, and in that very moment, the High Ones entered your mind and made you into what you are today. And other than myself, the High Ones knew your compulsion, knew the desire that drove you. Whatever it was, it made you predictable, and it allowed them to play you, just as they played Enderal and Korak. Do you see it now? Every dream the High Ones sent you, every time they appeared to you, all had but a single purpose: to feed your self-image, to push you in a certain direction. They wanted you to play the game for their purposes, and they succeeded. You read the echo of the future, as other prophets did before you. You helped Enderal reconstruct the beacon, and led him to the Numinos. When he saw that it would be taken away from him at the very last instant, his fear of failure led him into doing what he did. You are not to blame, prophetess. You did what countless others did before you, and you did it because you thought it was the right thing to do. Only one thing is different. In all the time I have been here, never before did a projection realize its own nature. You were meant to dissolve like the rest of mankind. Yet, here you stand, and I tell you the truth. This was never meant to happen. Oh, believe me, I have. I've done nothing else for a very, very long time. But it is true, whether you want to believe it or not. In time, you would have noticed it. The wrinkles in your skin would not have become any deeper, nor your hair any whiter. And if the cleansing were to be stopped, you would continue to exist forever. What reason would I have to lie to you? No, it is as I said. For as long as the cycle has existed, so has the beacon. It is an element of the game, and it has the power to end it, whether in favor of the High Ones or in favor of mankind. Yet for as long as I have been trapped here, the latter has never happened. They gave you impulses, nudges in the right direction. Those who know a person's past know which strings to pull. The Starlings, in their time, were called the Yalam Rashe. And yes, they manipulated the game in their favor. Their goals were similar to mine when I created the Goliath. They were a small circle of highly intelligent craftsmen and mages. And just like myself, they did not think the cycle could be won by the beacon alone. So by unknown means, they fled into the sky and created something that protected their city from the cleansing. Yes, but knowledge about their history is sparse, since the Star City was almost beyond the reach of my eye. But I know that its first centuries were glorious. The Yalam Rashe lived in harmony, and their society was the pinnacle of all that mankind could be. With time, however, their population grew. They became too numerous for their small city, and so they invented their golden rules, which were supposed to control their growth. Having children was regulated now, and those who were found guilty of a crime were punished heavily. The worst sentence was being exiled. The convicted were robbed of their memories and sent back to Earth. This is where the Starlings of your world come from, do you see? And this is why they all feel this longing to return to a far distant place in the stars, It is an ancestral memory.
This is like into the game, though.
I do not know. As I said, my knowledge about the Starlings was always limited. All I do know is that one day they were gone. I could not feel them anymore. By that time, their society had become
like near to the end
a
of the
shadow
game.
of what it once was. But whether they destroyed themselves or left for someplace else, I will never find out. Oh, stop it. No, it is too late for that. By the name of the sun, it is so ironic that the veiled woman did not lead you here earlier. It is over, prophetess. You are strong, but regardless of how long your power can protect you from the light of the cleansing, eventually you will dissolve too. Even if... Wait. No. Maybe. Maybe you are right. Maybe there is a way. But no. It would be pointless. Forgive me, I have to think. Yes. There could be a way. What I told you is true. Here on Earth, you would not survive the cleansing. But there is one place where you could. The Star City. I know that you brought something back from your journey there. The escape pods. And I know that they can also take you back there. For I have seen the Yalam Rashe, the ancient Starlings, do so. Whatever has protected the city over all these millennia, it would protect you too. Yes, you could survive it. By the face of time, you could. No, it would not. But that is irrelevant. You are fleshless, a projection. And just like me, time cannot touch you. Age cannot kill you, and thus you could succeed where I have failed. You could wait for the cleansing to be over, and then create a new humanity. Create a new humanity. It is only a matter of time until the new turn of the cycle starts. New life will come forth. First, simple life. Then human. And just like the civilizations before them, they will also fall victim to the High Ones, because they will have the same weaknesses as we do. But not with your help. You could be a god to them. You could guide their ascent. You could shape a mankind free of egos and weaknesses. And by doing so, you would deprive the High Ones of their power. Just imagine, in this new world, there would be no need for a beacon, because the High Ones simply would not have any strings to pull on. Mankind will defeat them by becoming superior. Yes, because that old Starling did harm to the city by trying to destroy a crystal. That awoke the Guardians, but they are asleep now. I can feel it. You would be safe, believe me. No, they are already dead, damn it. Arinthiel has lit the beacon, and unlike anything else you could do right now, this would be a chance for permanent change. By the face of time, do not let all of this become meaningless. Every second you waste doubting lessens your chance to get to safety. The High Ones reap, we sow. It is our weakness that make the High Ones strong, our ongoing fragility. And if not for that, the High Ones would be powerless. You could be the one to create a humanity like that. Altruism instead of greed. Self-responsibility instead of the continuous search for an enemy. Awareness instead of blindness. The Lightborn tried to force their ideals onto an already rotten people, just like the Pyrean Sun Priest and the countless false deities before them. You cannot save a tree whose roots have already withered. But with you as a deity to lead this new mankind, it would be entirely different. You could completely change what it means to be human. And would it not be presumptuous to rob the world of this chance? Simply because you are afraid of failing? Believe me, I would give a lot for this chance. Yes, I regret that I did. Please, right now, you have the chance to break a millennial-old pattern. Do not let it go to waste. I beg you. You are so stubborn. But, well, you might be able to destroy the beacon itself. The light, it consumes everyone who gets too close to it. But you, as a projection, you might be able to do it. It will not stop what the beacon has already done, but it will interrupt it. However, it would mean your death. Yours and that of all life in Enderal. It is too late to save them now. And even if you succeed, it changes nothing. Yes, Korik would be dead. But do you think the High Ones would just give up? They would retreat for a few years. Decades, maybe. No more. And then it would all happen again. Until another emissary lights the beacon. Trust me, I know humans far better than I would like to. Within a few years you would be forgotten, and they would win, as they always do. And who would that be? Even if there were someone, do you think anyone would listen? If he were to tell them that humanity itself is to blame, that the ultimate enemy does not even exist. You are delaying the inevitable, nothing more. And you are throwing away a chance, which we might never have again. Then you will change nothing. But what can I do? I am powerless. Go. Do what you must. Deal with the consequences. There is one more thing I need to ask of you, however. One final request. I want you to shut me down. Yes. I want to finally rest. I will not spend another 1,000 years watching this tragedy unfold. You could have changed it, but you did not. There is nothing I can do now. Please, do it. The switch is in front of you. That was how I connected myself to the Goliath. It will cut the connection as well. do it. And then go. Go and fulfill your fate. Forgive me. The two of us will now exchange places. I am sorry for the deception. And if there were another way, I would not do this. You could have made the right choice, but you refused. And I will not see this chance go to waste. I cannot. Once this is all over, I will send someone to free you from the Goliath. But until then...
Over here, Sagira, quickly! By the name of the sun, are you alright? I was so worried when...
Miserable fool! I would have kept my word, but if you want to play games, fine! I have had enough time to practice!
Oh, gosh.
You are not fit to
See now?
Have you seen? What have you achieved? I deserve this!
Now, attack the generators! Hold on, Sagira. Focus, Kalia. Focus. By the name of the sun, are you alright? I was so worried when...
Miserable fool! I would have kept my word, but if you want to play games, fine! I have had enough time to practice!
Oh, Kirash. Enemies, get ready.
We could have built a better world together! But you've thrown it all away! For whom, prophetess? For...
By the name of the sun, are you alright? I was so worried when...
Miserable fool! I would have kept my word, but if you want to play games, fine! I have had enough time to practice!
Oh, Kirash. That was all of that. Enemies. Careful. Oh, the guns! Get away from its face now! Oh. The shields are down. The generators now! Not again. Get away from the runes! Oh. Now, attack the generators! Damn it, not again! Don't let that go! They reach you! Careful. Away from the machine now! The shields are down. The generators now!
No! What have you done?
I suppose the explanations will have to wait. I had a feeling that might be the case. Go on ahead. I will follow. I have seen Xeinok. He's lying. He didn't even pull a hook in the bad times. I've looked at everything. And you are... This must be the cleansing. If this is how it feels down here, then fate have mercy on those who are on the surface. Then the Black Guardian... Kirash, How is that possible? Could you really be an... I suppose so. So... what now? Your decision. Is it final? Yes. Then I should leave this place before it is too late. This burning, things would have been different without you, Saira. I will not forget you. You do what you have to.
is that you? What? No. No, you're wrong, darling. I saved them. Don't you see? I led them to the light. Alone.
I'm just beating this game. Crashed.
You said you're beating it? You're almost done? There's nothing going on. It's just a black screen.
Just crashed. It crashes a lot.
Oh, does it really? That's kind of disappointing. Everyone was so hyped for it, I thought it was actually a good game.
It's good, it just crashes a lot because of Skyrim.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not really quick though, so it's not that big of a deal, I guess.
It's like all of Skyrim's bugs plus new ones.
Pretty much.
I've been trying to hundo game dev story some, but I do not know what to do.
Just be a game dev.
So wait, are you at like the very end of the game?
Like one of the endings. It has many endings though.
Oh yeah? Yeah, I was about to say maybe you have to do them in a specific order.
Shouldn't need to.
Oh no, maybe that one's just bugged. So was that literally at the end?
No, the game gets super trippy. It has some like end of world type story. I take it that door is supposed to open. I don't know.
Oh. I saw those cheats. Shaking my head.
Turned it on and off just to see if that would make it work better.
Shaking my head. Not playing Milky.
A great philosopher once said that every change begins with a moment of lucidity. In these moments, a veil opens, one which normally shrouds all the unwelcome truths we're aware of, but which we've buried deep within ourselves where we cannot see them. And it is only these moments in which we can make a decision. The decision to either act or to let the moment pass until the veil seals itself again and we once more are the slaves of our habits. I don't believe in revolutions. They are too simple, too fiery, and they too often end with the opposite result of what was intended. But neither am I a cynic who has lost all faith in the world. Change is possible, but it won't come as a big bang, but rather as a long path, one that will constantly confront us with obstacles. Obstacles we can either choose to overcome, or at which we choose to quietly turn around and go back to being what we were. The sacrifice of the one who will be remembered as the prophetess is proof that I am right. Yes, some might see the downfall of Enderal as the triumph of the High Ones, but it wasn't. It was neither that nor a triumph for mankind. What we were granted was a moment of lucidity, the chance to start our own walk down a long, rocky path. The High Ones exist because we believe in them. We, our egos, give them their power, and the more we listen to their words, the more we hate them, the more powerful they become. Indeed, the beacon, this ancient machine of unknown origin, can destroy us. But it can also free us from the High Ones once and for all, if we use it right. Rumors that the Arizalians have started constructing a second beacon, and the knowledge that this time we are aware of its nature, give me hope that the woman I loved has not died in vain, and that we continue walking.
They're different enemies. They're actually just different negatives.
You gotta do them all.
Do you even play as the same character?
Gotta load saves.
I kind of want to try this game out now, but I do not want to start up another big game right now, just yet. I'd like to get the Bioshocks out of the way first.
Good.
I had a feeling that might be the case. Go on ahead. I will follow.
Do KOTOR 2 in the Witcher
I had a
series.
sneaking hunch. You saw
You
him,
wanna
he
do
didn't
what?
even try to help me after that dragon
Or
attack.
2 in the Witcher.
I was lucky to find another way in. Otherwise, I would never have found you. And you were...
Can you type that first one out in chat?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh,
This
okay.
must be the cleansing. Then the... How is that? I suppose so. So... What now? Your
That's not an
decision.
achievement game, is it?
Is it final?
Oh, it is. Oh.
I understand. Then you have to prepare the escape pods. I will wait for your signal. Then
I did not realize
be
any of
careful,
those old
Saira.
Star Wars games had
You can't
achievements.
afford any mistakes.
So is this like mostly the same ending, only you're gonna do something slightly different?
Oh, it's a totally different path.
Oh, how far back did you have to go then?
Minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Quickly, get us out of here.
That's not a different path then.
The frame rate in this game. Too.
Hey. I don't know. When I woke up, we were here. You were still unconscious, so I thought it would be wise to let you rest a little. Just look at that. From here, it all seems so peaceful. Untouched. As if all that has happened was nothing but a bad dream. I guess as far as the world is concerned, it doesn't make it... Now it's up to us.
Do. Evo's left. Replay all of that ending shit. I gotta do the other love story, and I need to do the secret ending. Shouldn't take that long though. Robot dude who never shuts up.
And both Sharim and the Archmagister were asking for you. Apparently they have a clue as to where to find this Numenos. You should go see them as soon as possible. No, there's something I need to ask you. The mercenary. I see. Anyway, we'll talk again later. Take it slow. You don't look too well.
No means too vile or fell for her. The
Move along.
Sounds to me as if we'd risk a lot for just a ghost of a chance.
There you are.
I'm not sure if this
Have
is
you
wise.
recovered? Well, furthermore, the nightmares have become worse, and more reports of the Well, while you were sleeping, someone tried to break... Well, brace yourself. He said... Well, no chance is better than two. That's how the saying goes. You should talk to the Grandmaster. He called for you.
Did he now? How nice.
And secondly,
Then
he
I
says he
suppose I'll
used
answer
ancient...
the holy call of duty.
But either
God
way,
bless it,
what it does...
Archmagister.
Well... Just first, and you are familiar with teleport magic, aren't you? Here,
If you
take
have a
this scroll.
moment, I'd
It will
like to talk.
transport you directly to the
Come
Palace.
upstairs when you find
I
the
need to get
time.
back to my studies now. The more we learn about the beacon, the more fascinating it becomes.
Oh, hey.
Looks and now she's gone. Just like I did, yes, because I require your help in hard to explain. Come. Fair enough. Where do I start? Imagine the following scenario. You're in an old fortress. Suddenly before you even realize what is happening. That is truth. One in everything that can happen. I'm getting an Arcanist. But what if there were a way to not... Well, fair enough. Where do I start? Have you ever heard of the name Dalmaric? That's the one. Temporarily. Sadly, Dalmaric never had the chance. Lashari? No. Something I want to see. Indeed. It would mean a lot to me. Well, first of all, we need to... the ether crystal, and a special kind of alloy. According to my research, Dalmaric's old lab... right in the middle of the... You have a map, don't you? Ah. Firstly, because it's a personal matter. Secondly, it's too much of a risk as long as Kaleem and his help... We will. I will meet you in Thalgard.
The light fades away at the end of the day. The sun slowly sinks in its nocturnal grave. You're leaving our world, rising up high to the paths eternal, to the stars in the sky, and we stay behind, alone in the dark. Our lives will be lacking the glow of your spark. This is where your path ends and where it begins. In the golden twilight, the release of all strings. You're leaving our world, rising up high to the paths eternal, to the stars in the sky. Now blessed you be till the end of all things. No more toil of life, no more weight on your wings. The circle is closed between birth and decay. Infinite wonders will embellish your way. You're leaving our world, rising up high to the paths eternal, to the stars in the sky. When Malphas calls out, we will hearken with glee.
Tenacious, but as I said, I'll look for the alloy. You look for the I don't know exactly. And regarding, think of it as a kind of enhancer of one's gaze into the sea of eventualities. As I said, I'll look for the alloy. You look. I don't know and regarding, think of it as a kind of enhance. I suggest you try as. Come on, let's get started. Just come back here once you've found the crystal. So, had any luck? So, had any luck?
It's all shards. The roof came down on it.
What? No, that can't be. Show me.
Suit yourself.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, it's impossible.
Apparently it's not.
Any luck?
Aye, but it's all shards. The roof came down on it.
What? No, that can't be. Wait.
Suit yourself.
No. No, 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 no. That's impossible.
Apparently it's not. So what about my pay?
Well, maybe you're just wrong, and the goddamn crystal was never in here in the first place. Never thought of that.
It is here. Let's keep looking.
All right, all right. We have all the time in the world, don't we?
Ah, there you are. So? I have it. It's... Huh. Either way, we did... Here, I found this. I will need a couple of... Meet me in the dust pit in the Undercity 2 days. See you then.
Yes? Yes?
Move along.
Keep walking.
There you are. Nice place, isn't it? While the Neramis are in front of our gates, the people... Possibly. Be that as it may, I've... in a safe place. Come along.
You live and learn.
The Sunchild, aren't you? I've heard about those yellow coats invading this country. Free peoples of Nerim.
Bralata Sera, sister.
Bloody rats. Eating the last penny right out your pocket.
Please, just leave me be.
They come creeping from every corner down here, don't they? Either way, here it is. The Planeswalker. Correct. But in order... Well, observe. Imagine the fog. While you're doing this, there's a brief moment... Good. And this is where the Planeswalker... Yes. I will cast the spell, but I will need to... In a moment. Once the rift is open... Well, he... In other words, secondly, the realities in which Vin doesn't even... Well, look around, explore the... Good. Then let's waste no more time, shall we? Here, take this and cast it at my command. Do it from... wait. Yes, from over there. Let's begin. It worked. I the name of the sun! It worked. It actually worked. Kira, you feel it too, don't you? It is. It must be the eventuality trying. Look, Prophetess, give me 10 minutes, will you? Yes, you will.
I liked it. What do you think, love?
It was magnificent. We'll make a great bard out of you yet.
Really?
Really. And you know what? Because you did so well, I'll tell you a secret.
What is it?
It's a secret, so I can only tell you and not Mommy. Come over here and I'll tell you.
Hey, that's not fair.
Nothing in the world is fair, love. So, Princess, what do you say?
Okay.
Just a little closer. The secret is... the tickle monster is hungry again!
You too. Do you want to know another secret? The little princess is way past her bedtime already, and she knows it. Because I have told her before.
Alright, I'm going.
Look how she's grown. Time really does fly, doesn't it?
No argument there. I'll finish the letter, okay? You go upstairs and get some sleep. You've earned it.
Okay. Don't be too long, alright?
Don't worry, I won't. Hey, I love you.
I love you too, Naya. You just had to do it, didn't you? Yes. Yes, I do. Huh? I'm afraid I've changed my mind. Not touching. My daughter. The man that... That's just the way of things. The world doesn't care what you want. What do you mean? You mean... So... You just had to do it, didn't you? Let's go. You're all right. The house. Their voices, it was simply too much to bear. Now that still I don't... I believe that... I think we both know... Yes, here it is. It's... Now I suggest, in that pouch of yours, that flower. The name of... Then you want to brew the potion, don't you? The dream flower elixir. No. All right. No, the dream flower. It takes over your... Yes, the dream flower. Instead, it puts you into an eternal slumber. Do you understand? Please, prophetess, don't be a fool. You're toying with things you... Fine. Do what you must. I'll prepare for the worst. Farewell, prophetess.
What do you want?
My dam, you look as though you have a kind heart. Please, spare a penny for me. One.
Would you look at that? A visitor from the circle.
Something you want to tell me?
A stranger. What brings you here?
You? Well, that certainly comes as a surprise. I thought you died along your pay. So the riches you found... I see. Here, this is more than enough. Now go. You are not welcome here anymore.
Die already! For freedom!
You, how dare you come back?
Prophetess, it's good to see that you're here. Just follow the hallway down into the cave.
What he did ask for was a tube with a circumference of 3 fingers. Well, well, you are the material, not help. That's the Sakabaku copper alloy. Well, that... But as far as... And now, his thoughts exactly. Now bring new one. Chop chop. Well, any luck? Ah, he thought so. Very good work. Your reputation... Perfect, that's them. Good work. Yeah. Ah, and you should go to the captain's cabin before you leave. Your Grand Master arrived a short while ago, and it seems he wants to talk to you.
Prophetess, have you found the missing pieces? Good. According to the... and you will not be traveling on your... They will... Prophetess. On their way back, the others will be able to steer the ship without you, correct?
Yes, they won't be steering anything, to be precise. Because Gertrude flies on her own as soon as the coordinates have been set. He thanks you, Tielor Aranthiel. Any other Grand Master would have laughed at him, but you have listened instead. Now he will be the first of his people to meet the Ancient Fathers. It is hard to believe that. Walk blessed, and all the best for your fight.
Thank you. The others are expecting you. Ah, and there's one more thing. This amulet belonged to my son. I want you to have it. Wear it or not, the choice is yours. Now leave. And do not disappoint me.
Welcome aboard. How are... Well then. All aboard! Then raise the ramp! She's taking off! And there we go. Good. Very good.
Malphus.
Incredible. Fly! Yes? What do you want?
Saira, how are... Okay, let's just skip the small talk. I was never good at that. I wanted to see you because there's something I need to show you. Follow me. I couldn't sleep, so I used the chance to take a look around. The thought that Kermine did this all by himself... It's incredible. It would take dozens of Andralian craft 5 years to do this. So, are you ready? Kurmai told me about this place. This sphere is what keeps us in the air, and it draws its energy from the water. Crystal water, that's what he called it. I just had to see it for myself. It's beautiful, don't you think? In any case,
He just can't believe it. No, he just can't believe it.
Oh, damn. No, quickly, run. That should do it. Now, wait a second.
What part of vertical didn't you understand? He thinks his instructions were clear. Stay here. Do nothing. But no. You decide to run around the ship and open whatever door crosses your path. And no, don't look at him like that. Next time, there will be consequences.
Well, yes. Here we are. That's just bizarre, isn't it? No, it hasn't. Anyway, I guess we're safe down here, at least for a while. Actually, I don't mind. This place, it makes me feel serene. Lets you forget why we're here. Do I? In a good or bad way? That's good to hear. You know, Saira, I've been thinking, well, and that at first I was great, but that was and I can't and won't do that. No, I won't let it harm anyone ever again. But I'll accept that it's a part of me. You know, Saira, what good did all the self-loathing ever do? I've been dealt a tough hand, and with that thing and these side of me, I'll never be like the others. I think that's the best, maybe the only way to deal with something like this. Accept it, as despicable as it may be, because it is part of who you are. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not deluding myself. Living with this thing will be something I have to wrestle with for the rest of my life. There will always be moments of weakness when it will try to get the best of me. But I will always resist. And I will do so without condemning myself every time it happens. And in the meantime, I will live. I will do all the things that I never allowed myself to do. Even if the latter would be a rather amusing. Yes. And that. I'm not sure if I could have gotten here without you. Your friendship. Kurmai should be gone by now, so I think it's... You will.
It's a crazy world, isn't it? On our way to a forgotten... But anyway, you have a... I wanted to thank you. I think I've understood. It's hard to put into words, but in order to be truly content, we need connection. Yeah, I'm responsible for what happened to it. Maybe. The fact is, though, that it... And I like... The same goes for our friendship. That's what I wanted to tell you. Despite all the trouble we got ourselves into, I'm glad that our paths crossed. For whatever reason they... Okay, now... But I know what you're implying, and as much as it hurts me to say this, I'm different, especially when it comes to love. And if you're like most others, I don't think I could make you happy. Our friendship, it just means too much to me to risk it for this. It's not about love. Look, there's so much going through my head when I look at you. That's what I want. No, I'm not making much sense, am I? I think what I'm trying to tell you is that I've never been a fan of what people call relationships. I'm different when it comes to that. And my way of loving, well, what do you think? I mean, how can you seriously promise to someone that you'll love him or her forever? That you'll never again desire anyone else? Nobody knows what he's going to think, let alone feel 20, 10, heck, even 1 year from now. No, I don't. I'm only saying that there's no way of knowing how long it'll last until it does. Do you understand? Life is unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen, especially when it comes to emotions. And I simply have a problem with people pretending they do. And it's not just that. Even if I were to love somebody with all my heart, I could never promise in good faith that I will never find myself at least physically desiring somebody else. In most people's books, that makes me a cheater. And it makes my feelings for this somebody less true. All those poems, the plays, the songs, they're all about the two of us. All or nothing. And until death do us part. But that's just not how real life works. If you're honest about it, I don't see why not. Love is one thing, sex, and for most people, that's what love seems to be about. Just like most people when you get to know them, don't you think? Yeah, maybe I am. In my experience, emotional bondage was never a good basis for human relationships. If you love someone, let him run free. Because if what you have is true, he'll always come back because he wants to, rather than being obliged to. I'd never tell you what to do, who to look at, or who to sleep with, as long as I know that I'm the one you plan to keep. But then again, what do I know? I guess all I'm trying to say is, if you really want to do this, let's not put a name on it, ever. Let's just see where... No! What I want is to not force some idealized model. If it's meant to last, it will last. Even without this nonsense of jealousy, possessiveness, and these obligatory daily declarations of love some people seem to need in order to reaffirm their feelings for one another. Really? I thought a lot about what you'd say, but why am I still talking? Oh, hey. Yeah, sure. I just didn't sleep so well. Too many thoughts, I guess. No. Tell me, when did you know it? That you wanted to be more than just a friend? And I for women with dark gifts. Not that there were that many, though. Truth be told, the thought of something... I think something blocked me, if you know what I mean. No idea. Anyway, so now we're here. Ironic, isn't it? Adila would have deserved a moment like this so much more. And yet now I'm the winner. The only living Delveric. But hey, I'm the winner. I wish I could say that with the same bone, Judge. Such lunacy. Adila. Anyway, the only way we can make Adila's death count is... Yeah, let's do that. But I think a hint of clothing would do you well. Not everyone likes this style as much as I do.
yet. The clouds, that's it.
Or the city is deserted. Looks like it to me.
Nonsense! Now quiet. He needs to concentrate.
Now, if it isn't our missing friends. It's good to see people finding common ground, even in these times.
I'll drink to that. I suppose we've reached our goal.
You're as cunning as rumored, my Sir Dalveric. We came across the first of these floating buildings about 3 hours ago. The Valley of 1,000 Clouds. That's what the Starlings called it. But as you've noticed, it's a little too, well, quiet. Well, first of all, let us take a look at it up close. Then we'll see.
And still, no one. That must mean something, right?
He will find them. He will find them, and they will...
Hey, wait! By the righteous path. That's not good at all. Come on, we have to follow him. Whoever was capable of creating something like this must also have known things. Let's just wait and see.
Father Uralai, Father Jotanax, Father Rajimon, he is here, and he has found you, just as your prophecy foretold. Now open the gates!
Oh my. I sense drama.
By the stars! Why do you punish him with silence? He found you. He fulfilled your prophecy. So let him inside. No. No, 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 no. This isn't happening. This isn't happening.
Kromai.
Yes. Yes, he is here. He is sorry, Magistra. It was a mistake to come here. This place is dead, and the ancient fathers died with it.
Very poetic, pal, but now you're overdoing it. Who says they're dead? Maybe your ancient fathers just left for someplace else.
Yes, I'm sure they did.
Look, I am sorry this place isn't what you had hoped it would be. I really am. But Dalveric is right. You shouldn't jump to conclusions, and despair won't help you either. We should inspect this place before deciding anything. Don't you agree? The only question is how to get inside.
We could try breaking this gate open.
Splendid idea, boy. Do you have a battering ram with you? Myrid-sized, preferably?
This place must have a side entrance. Kromai?
Yes, probably.
Well, then let's go look for it. We split up. Sister Sakarish, you accompany Kermai and take a closer look at the area around the docks. Legion and I will examine the eastern part of the city. And you and Dalveric scout the west. If anyone finds anything, call the rest of the group before doing anything else. Now off you go.
his life, he has worked for this, and now he'd been chasing ghosts all along. Let's just hope the architects of this place didn't take their knowledge with them to the grave, or wherever they are now. This is going to be interesting, that's for sure. We really found it. Believe it.
Well, I'd say that went differently than expected. No offense. Come on, you go ahead. Breathtaking is...
Good. That looks exactly like what we needed. Anything we should know about the interior, Kermai? Traps?
No.
Well then. Kermai, you, the prophetess, Dalveric, and I will go inside. Legium and Sister Sakarish, you stay and guard the ship. If we haven't returned, or if you haven't heard from us within 12 hours, you're to take the ship back to Ark. Understood?
Understood.
Then let's be off.
Hello? How do you do?
Good morning.
Alias, what's your favorite accent in America?
Pablo Escobar.
I don't know.
One American accent to be your favorite. Go.
Does he?
And your favorite? Come on, take it. Yes.
Maybe
Let's
Boston or
see.
Chicago, just because they have a lot of character.
This is Starling's script, but it's different. Blazes. Can you take a look at that, Kermai?
But
Of course.
Tell me you love my accent, Alias.
He sees.
do you have an accent?
All right.
I grew up in Chicago.
Doesn't matter, you.
Directions. To the left is the Shorai, which roughly means.
I actually just like
The
accent
right
from
corridor
the
leads to the living
Highlands.
quarters. He thinks
Scotland,
the
Ireland.
Shorai will lead us to the
Good
top
American.
of the tower.
I know.
Good.
Don't.
Then
I
off
mean, the
we go.
closest thing is I guess the South. Some of that accent is preserved, but it's not the same thing.
Chicago accent even mean?
And your favorite? You know.
Chicago pizza is, but what is Chicago accent?
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking of the wrong place. I'm pretty sure I just mean a Boston accent.
Alright.
Chicago lingo, but it's kind of just lame. Kanye West is an example of standard Chicago accent.
Okay, yeah. Oh, God.
I suppose this is where the council held their meetings, isn't it, Kermai? Wait, where is he?
What the heck? He was here a second ago.
Wonderful. We need to find him. Let's split up. We'll meet up again here.
So, any luck? True, but why does this pal just run off like that? Huh?
Couldn't agree more. But at least now we have a trail. Let's see if the lever still works.
You see the picture I just posted, Xeinok?
There you go. Then let's see where that leads.
And off topic. Oh, okay. It's just a. It's after lights out, but I got a little lamp on, and I saw my my goby peeking out from under the rock. Thought it was cute.
Get with the lights off?
Well, I've got a little lamp on at my desk.
Well, that's enough. Put any more in there?
And your favorite?
Hmm?
And your favorite people? I'm your favorite boy.
Party boy?
Yeah.
What now?
Let's take a look around. He must have gone somewhere.
Oh no, maybe
That's what I call well hidden. By the wise hermit. What is this place, Magistra? Can you read the glyphs?
I'll try. Yes, that? Tower of Memories. That should be it. That should be it. We got lucky. The prophetess was right. This is an archive. The archive, to be precise. The gathered memories of the ancient starlings.
They don't seem to have memorized a lot then.
We will see about that. Come.
Oh, I'm back. Fucking internet Colombian.
And now... So, Magistra, I'm guessing a word of warning would have killed the drama?
One moment. Ah, here.
Okay.
The Starling prophecies were right. The ancient father... correct. And yet, they never helped any of the civilizations that were extinguished by it.
How did that die?
Who knows? Maybe their hands were tied somehow. Or that. But that's just speculation. What we do know is that neither the Red Madness, the High Ones, nor the Cleansing could harm them, and that their knowledge might be the key to completing the beacon. Would you look at that? Welcome to the memories of the ancient fathers. Let's see what we can learn from it. If the Grand Master was right about this, the Pyrean history should perfectly reflect the different phases of the cycle, including the cleansing. The second step of the cycle, the Grandmaster said. A first civilization arises, blossoms, and falls. For us, it was Asadaron's reign of the Eterna, which collapsed after Starfall. Who knows what it was in the age of the Pyreans? That's the first step of the cycle. Out of
Xeinok,
nothing,
you need money?
life forms itself. And from that life, man evolves and
sure?
starts populating the earth.
Positive.
Come on, man.
That's... let me see. Yes, this is the creation of a theocracy. After the first civilization falls, a second one arises. That is reigned over by a few who proclaim themselves gods. Do you see the hats? These were the sun priests of the Pyrean realm, the equivalent of our Lightborn.
That's step number 4, the downfall of the rulers. For us, it was the Shadow God and Rathol Renthiel who killed the Lightborn. In the Pyrean age, it was this general, Jakal. He was a member of one of the reigning castes himself, but one day he turned against them. He was the Pyrean Shadow God and the Pyrean Terranor Korak all in one, so to speak.
The chaos, the war, the red madness. This is the 5th step, where we are right now. Do you see this shape in the background? This must be the High Ones, who are behind all of it. The cycle nears its end. The 6th step. The cycle concludes, the cleansing happens, and mankind vanishes, just like that. Do you see this temple in the background? This must be the temple in the city of 1,000 floods, the heart of the Pyrean realm.
Huh? By the wise hermit. What is this place, Magistra? Can you read the glyphs?
I'll try. Yes, that? Tower of Memories. That should be it. Let me read some more.
Alright, Xeinok, taking
Blazes,
my
this
money.
is tricky, but...
Give me your money.
Yes!
Yes?
We got lucky.
Yep.
The prophetess was right. This is
Cool.
an archive. The archive, to be precise.
Cool.
Gathered memories of the ancient starlight.
Now, I want to swim.
Memorized a lot then.
We will see about. Come.
When Kazakh Spanish part.
Get a better microphone, Juan. Can never fucking hear what you say.
No, my microphone's are shit, man.
So, Magistra, I'm guessing a word of warning would have killed the drama?
One moment. Ah, here.
Okay.
The Starling prophecies were right. The ancient fathers have lived in this place. Correct. And yet they never helped any of the civilizations that were extinguished by it.
Live and let die.
Who knows? Maybe their hands were tied somehow. don't jump to conclusions. Have you ever wondered where the plans for... But that's just speculation. What we do know is that neither the Red Madness, the High Ones, nor the Cleansing could harm them, and that their knowledge might be the key to completing the beacon. Would you look at that? Welcome to the memories of the Ancient Fathers. Let's see what we can learn from it. Yes, the Grand Master was right about this. The Pyrean history should perfectly reflect the different phases of the cycle, including the cleansing. That's the first step of the cycle. Out of nothing, life forms itself, and from that life, man evolves and starts populating the Earth. The second step of the cycle, just as the Grandmaster said. A first civilization arises, blossoms, and falls. For us, it was Asadoron's reign of the Eterna, which collapsed after Starfall. Who knows what it was in the age of the Pyreans? That's... let me see. Yes, this is the creation of a theocracy. After the first civilization falls, a second one arises. That is reigned over by a few who proclaim themselves gods. Do you see the hats? These were the sun priests of the Pyrean realm, the equivalent of our Lightborn.
That's step number 4, the downfall of the rulers. For us, it was the Shadow God and Rathzor Renthiel who killed the Lightborn. In the Pyrean age, it was this general, Jakal. He was a member of one of the reigning castes himself, but one day he turned against them. He was the Pyrean Shadow God and the Pyrean Terranor Korek all in one, so to speak.
The chaos, the war, the Red Madness. This is the 5th step, where we are right now. Do you see this shape in the background?
You know what would be cool?
This must be the High Ones who are behind all of it.
There were some way to
The
stream
cycle nears its end.
Steam games to my phone.
The 6th step. The cycle concludes, the cleansing happens, and mankind vanishes, just like that.
I bet visual novels would work.
Do you see this temple in the background? This must be the temple in the city of 1,000 floods, the heart of the Pyrean realm.
You there, Xeinok?
Yep.
And after the 6th step, it all starts over. So
Because I think the biggest reason I do not play visual novels is because if I'm at my desk, I want to feel active and productive.
To the sky, to the high
sitting
ones.
there reading what is essentially a book.
By the righteous path,
I'd
now
rather read books in bed.
That is these shapes.
There is a way to do it.
Their thoughts, our consciousness, our souls, and all of them together form a new High One.
So you're saying what a High One really is the consciousness of an entire civilization?
Yes, it's our memories, our thoughts, our dark knowledge, our collective consciousness. This is monstrous. Yes, by the righteous path, that's it. Korek is right. In a way, humanity does reach a new level of existence. Oh, yes, we do. The word of the dead. Then this is the way. The essence of a High One. It's hard to explain. Isn't it logical, then, that we need some... Well, we need to use...
Well, that's peachy. Now all we have to do is find a High One who allows us to use the word of the dead on him. Should be an easy task, considering that they've already been so cooperative.
That is correct. But I know where to find where the last cleansing took place. That is where correct. The Echo grants you the ability to feel and relive the memories of this world. But since the High Ones are immaterial and will not reveal themselves to us when we want them to, all we can do is travel back to a point where they... Yes, this means... Well, I hope this place can help us find the answer. If the ancient starlings witnessed the entire cycle of the Pyreans, then they surely knew a lot about the geography of the world as it was back then as well. We need to keep searching. Come, let us go back to the tower.
entities who reproduce by devouring the consciousness of an entire civilization. If I didn't know that all this was actually happening, I'd say that someone had had one drink too many. It just sounds so bizarre.
Is it? Don't we ourselves breed pigs so that we may eat them once they're fat enough? In a way, the High Ones are just like us, except that it's our thoughts that they are after rather than our bodies. It bears a certain kind of logic. You cannot deny that.
Oh, yes, totally. You know what's kind of funny about all this? Knowing that Korak's story about mankind ascending isn't as stupid as it first sounded. We don't cease to exist, no. We live happily ever after, united into a High One. That's almost consoling.
Yes, but is this new High One really us? Or does it just need us to come forth? Yes, we know now that this is how they reproduce. But we still know far too little. How did they come into being? How long has this been going on? So many questions.
Indeed. But how does the saying go? First kill the predator, then ponder its motivations.
You're a man of great wisdom, my Sir Delveric. Well then, let's see what...
Kamai.
They are here! They have been here all along!
Kermai! Where by the righteous path were you?
He was a fool to bring you here. You Soilborn are too dangerous. You've always been. But he was too blinded. Blinded by his dream to finally finish her and sail home.
I don't like this, Magistra.
What are you talking about, Kermai? The fact that the ancient starlings left this city doesn't have anything to do with us. You have...
talking! Darn it, you are so ignorant! They are here, but they won't reveal themselves to us because they don't accept your presence. Because you are unworthy of them. He will...
Kermai, stop this! Right now!
The defense system, of course. They will understand.
To arms.
What is this?
Ass! Forgive him! It has to be done!
Find the map and leave!
But...
Run!
You know what my confusion has been, Xeinok? I did not realize that the Steam Mobile Authenticator and the Steam Link app were two separate apps. So I never saw the streaming capability on my phone.
Oh yeah.
I thought that I had the mobile authenticator and I'd heard that there was going to be streaming on your phone, like at some point. I just thought it was a feature that wasn't available. They are in fact two separate programs.
That leaves us with the question of what the heck happened. Yeah, that makes sense. And getting out of this place alive would... You're right, we do. That means back by the dock. Come on, let's get back to the elevator. Damn it. So much for that. I guess so. Let's look around. That looks good. Let's hope it also leads us down to the tower. shit. That doesn't look good. Well said. I suppose this flying steelbird got them. Yes, that. But as long as that alarm is... In other words, we need to find a way to switch it off. That doesn't look good. Stay on the essence of a high one.
Xeinok, I think this might work.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to.
I've got it setting up now. This is gonna be kind of funny if I can lie in bed and play visual novels. I wonder if it can actually play real games or if the frames would suck.
I think I'm gonna finish this game tomorrow. It crashed again.